But let's take you to the Free State now, where in Harrismith, residents are this week intensifying their protest over service delivery. A message is circulating that the N3 and linking roads to the area will be shut down. Weeks ago, residents gave authorities 7 days to respond to their list of grievances. They say they are yet to receive feedback. Our reporter, Silindelo Masikane, is in Harrismith, and she joins us now live. Slee, earlier on, when you were speaking to our colleague eNCA, you were trying to get away from the pelting stones. What's happening there now?
Well, still much of a similar situation. In fact, what we're seeing now is that the police have called for backup. There was one in Nyala when we arrived earlier this morning. There's now two that are monitoring this particular slip here in Harrismith next to Warden, just before the Warden off-ramp. And what we've been seeing is that law enforcement is trying to keep the protesters away from the N3 highway. Like you mentioned, that there was messaging doing the rounds saying, there was going to be no way in and no way out, and that there were going to be trucks and cars, taxis in particular, barricading this intersection that either will take you to Durban or will take you to Johannesburg. So what we're seeing is that law enforcement is managing to actually keep the protesters off the highway, even though at times it does seem as though they can get a bit overwhelmed and the protesters do make it down this particular hill. You can see in the distance that we do have some law enforcement officials just on the tip of the hill trying to keep the protesters within their particular community. I had a chance to speak to one of the protest leaders on the phone, and he was telling me that we should particularly stay down here because these scenes are going to take place for most of the day, and that it wasn't quite safe to actually try and go over the hill to try and speak to the community. As you stated, we were trying to actually avoid getting hit by those stones that were being pelted at the law enforcement officials. However, the community is saying that despite their protest action a couple of weeks ago, where some promises were made from government officials that they would come and address the community and also engage in terms of their concerns around service delivery in the area and wanting to be taken out of the Maluti Apofu municipality, that this has not come into fruition. The Premier of the province hasn't come to see them as promised. Nothing has actually come of their protest action, and so they're saying that they're resuming this protest action to once again get the attention of government and to have their demands addressed.
All right. Well, of course, Silindelo Masikane, please keep safe where you are. As you heard, she did say that the police told them to try and stay away from the protesters and rather stay where she is right now, so she can't get through to them to find out exactly what their grievances are. So that was Silindelo Masikane out for us in Harrismith.